relevance of traditional Indian knowledge system in 21st century. He would be speaking to us later in the second session today, which will be followed by a plenary session on career opportunities in the 5 different areas: Hindi, Sanskrit, and other Indian languages, Indology, Buddhist studies, Yoga, and Ayurveda. The presentations would be made by Secretary Tourism, Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry representative, and as well as Publisher Association of India and Ayurveda Drug Manufacturers Association. Hopefully, some of the discussions we had yesterday in the breakout sessions probably would get answered in this plenary session. And at the end of the day, we will have a concluding session, which would be graced by our Honorable Minister for Education, Sri Dharmendra Pradhan ji. And that would conclude the session today. Tomorrow, you would have an excursion to Akshardham Temple and also to Delhi Hat, where you can do not only see but also experience Indian culture. Many of you would have visited Delhi Hat already, but those of you who have not been there, Delhi Hat is a unique space in Delhi where you can eat food from different states of India and also see handicrafts and artifacts and also buy them. So you can take back something. Wishing you a very productive day. I would like to invite Professor Dr. V. Ramakrishna to address you. Thank you.
A few words by way of introduction to Dr. B.R. Ramakrishna. He's an expert on yoga and Ayurveda. Among the many posts he has held previously are Vice President, Central Council of Indian Medicine, Government of India. He has also been Dean of Life Sciences, S. Vyasa Yoga University, Prashanti Kutiram, and was also the Editor-in-Chief of Rajas Ayush Journal. He was Professor Emeritus, Sushruta Ayurvedic Medical College and Hospital, Bangalore, and has a professional experience of 40 years of integrative medicine practice, which is Ayurveda and modern system of medicine, yoga and naturopathy, at the Athreya Health Paradise, BSK, second stage, Bangalore. He has also developed 65 polyherbal Ayurvedic products. Ladies and gentlemen, the chair of this session, Dr. B.R. Ramakrishna, Vice Chancellor, S. Vyasa University.
Good morning to all. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Asmad Acharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Salutations to all the masters and the teachers who has put a big base of Indian knowledge. Most respected Abhay Kumar ji and the participants from different parts of the world. I feel this is a unique opportunity provided by ICCR, intellectual congregation of HODs and senior academicians dedicated to the study and promotion of Indic studies, which includes, already mentioned, you are all very fortunate and we are fortunate. ICCR has taken a step to update you about the Indic knowledge so that you become real warriors and ambassadors to propagate Indic sciences. Today's session is divided into 2 parts. One is how yoga be on the forefront in the world scenario for health issues and all social problems. And the second one is Ayurveda. Dr. Tanuja Nesri, the director of All India Institute of Ayurveda, will be focusing much on the Ayurvedic aspect, but I don't say restrict, but I talk more about yoga aspects, yoga perspective. In between, there will be interaction. I take about 20-25 minutes, and subsequently lot of opportunities given for question and answers. You know, yoga and Ayurveda, these are the two most ancient, immortal, traditional knowledge which is popular in this country and getting popularized worldwide since the time immemorial. There is no fixed date for this. This is in par with our human race itself. Rather, we say that this moves along with the Sanatana Dharma. Coming to what is the aim and objective of life? You know, it has been said, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Mokshanam. We have 4 pursuits of life. One is Dharma, that is our duties and responsibilities. Artha is the reward or the objectives. Yeah. Results. And Kama is our desires, which we always plan to get it fulfilled in our lifetime. And Moksha is final liberation. That is, at the end of the life, everyone aspires to become one with the Supreme Consciousness. What is the thing that is required to achieve all these things? To achieve these 4-fold pursuits of life, the most fundamental thing required is the health. That is the reason why we say health is the wealth. If there is no health, nothing can be done. In the absence of health, everything you have made in your life becomes totally useless. And it becomes more of a liability rather than an asset. If you have sound health, you have everything sound. It is said, Sharira Madhyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam. Sound body is the tool to achieve one's goal and objectives in life. Let us understand what is health from the perception of modern and the ancient. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely an absence of disease or infirmity. This is WHO, which has been making the Alma Ata declaration that it was declared that health for all, health for everyone by 2020. But have we achieved that goal? That I will come to that point of discussion later. But the Ayurvedic and yogic perception of health is not merely this. It goes beyond. What is that? There shall be harmony of body, mind, and consciousness. Unless there is a component of spiritual entity, you cannot say that you are healthy. Maybe the countries are quite rich enough today by wealth. But what about the real health? Look at the war situation that is going on between the big countries. Do you call them as a healthy state? Do you call the people as healthy people? No. Health is not merely confined to physical. It is essentially physical, mental, social, spiritual. Then only you can say that that person is healthy and the state is healthy. To understand health, you have to understand what is our life. As modern science has understood, life is not, our physical system is not merely millions and millions or trillions and trillions of energy pockets. It is essentially an integrative manifestation of body, mind, intellect, and consciousness. The modern approach is totally matter-based approach, reductionistic approach, whereas yoga and Ayurveda upholds the theory of knowledge-based and consciousness-based approach, and it is totalistic approach. When you go with modern science approach, you understand body very well, but not the other dimensions. Look at the human system, energy pockets, cells, tissues, organs and system. Beyond that what? Nothing. Whereas, if you understand the human system, no doubt they are made out of the 5 elements human body. The space or the ether, air, fire, water and earth. Beyond that, there are 5 vital senses. There is mind, there is intellect and the consciousness. According to yoga, we uphold the theory of panchakoshas. There are 5 dimensions: physical, physiological, psychological, intellectual and spiritual dimensions. Dr. Tanuja Nesri is on the stage now, is coming. I welcome Madam. She is the director of All India Institute of Ayurveda and very expertise, knowledgeable woman. Very close to my soul too. Madam, please. And according to yoga theory, the 5 dimensions, they play a pivotal role in all our functions and exhibitions. From the perception of yoga, health is not merely at the level of physical body. There shall be a harmony within and in between the 5 dimensions. At the physical dimensions, there should be harmony, physiological, psychological, intellectual and spiritual dimension. Not only within these, but there should be harmony in between also. It refers to our society too. No doubt, we should be healthy and we should be with harmony. But with others also we should be with harmony. That is how the theory of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam has been upheld. So health can be defined as inter and intra harmony of these 5 dimensions. Yoga upholds that Annamaya Kosha is physical body, Pranamaya Kosha is physiological, Manomaya is psychological, Vijnanamaya is intellectual, and Anandamaya is what is known as the blissful dimension. And these are very, very important in health as well as in disease and the treatment management. When it is at the physical level, no doubt the things become visible. When it goes at the physiological level, little visible. When it goes further, deeper into the mind and the intellectual, many times it looks invisible, but they are in existence. Then what is disease? Imbalance of physiological functions due to various biochemical variations at tissue, cell and gene level and microbial infections. This is the modern theory. All of you know that human system is a chemical factory. More than 65,000 chemicals are identified at different levels. And the modern concept of treatment is adding few more chemicals into the system. But that is not the line of treatment. And ease and the disease is the expression of mind. When we ask a question, how are you? We say, I am happy, I am okay, I am healthy. Your body parts do not express it. It is the expression of your mind. So ease is the expression of mind health, and dis-ease is the expression of mind again. We call it as dukkha, that is one which causes pain is the disease, and the one which ensures comfort or happiness is health. And yoga, according to perception of yoga, disharmony within and among the 5 dimensions leads to disease process. The etiology of diseases is something different, as the modern perceives only immunity plays an important role, microbes plays an important role, and imbalance at different chemicals plays in place. No, that was not only that, it goes beyond that. Diseases are caused by environmental stressors, and further the line of treatment is rational methods. And we have diseases caused by providential causes. This is something special. Acts of superhumans, constellations, etc. Because for many of the problems today, there is no solution in the modern system of medicine, because they don't believe and accept the theory of these things. Therefore, divine therapy becomes most important factor. And psychosomatic diseases, which are caused due to involvement of both mind and the body, the line of treatment is counseling and the psychotherapy. Again, the cause of the diseases are, as I was telling, not merely the microbes. It is improper usage of our senses, intellectual blunder, and abusement of our environment, which influences on our physiological functions. And very important is the role of mind plays the most significant factor in causing the disease. All diseases, they get manifested in the mind, later they percolate to the body. That is why we say all disease for that matter are psychosomatic. There is nothing you can differentiate. Just I will give an example. A small patch or a pimple on the skin of the face. Okay, somebody feels that it is disease and they go to the cosmetologist, and someone look at the mirror and they feel that, yeah, it is adding to beauty. It is health for her. So the concept of health and disease first manifests in the mind and later percolates to body. Now the treatment also, it is the modern system of medicine. All of you know that how it is focused, treating the disease by administering substances that produce other symptoms. When given to a healthy human, than the systems produced by a disease. This is the most important aspect. And that line of treatment is disease focused. But yoga and Ayurveda upholds the theory of the treatment individual focused. It is person focused. There is difference between curing the disease and curing a person. Yoga and Ayurveda puts forth the theory of curing the individual or the person. It is individual specific. It is not disease specific. According to yoga concept, what is the line of treatment? We have to maintain the homeostasis, that is the harmony or equilibrium between body, mind and spirit. And yoga is a way, it is a tool, it is a technique, it is a path, an art of science to achieve health, happiness and harmony, and finally the bliss or liberation. Always we say 3H: health, happiness and harmony. And the main objective of yoga is to achieve these three by calming the mind, by making the mind quiet, calm, released, serene. If mind is disturbed, everything is disturbed. There is a pathway called as psycho-endocrino-neuromuscular pathways. All problems are manifested, triggered at the mind level. Then it produces the signals to endocrines. Endocrines pass on signals to nerves, nervous system, and nervous system to the muscular, from muscular to the organs, from organs to the tissue, from tissues to the cells, from cells to the genes. This is how it happens. Therefore, we should keep the mind in a perfect stage through the practice of yoga. It is said very beautifully in Bhagavad Gita. Yoga is lifestyle management. It is an art of living. It is a science of living. It is a path of perfect, total quality living. Yuktahara viharasya Yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnama bodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. It is lifestyle comprising of ahara, vihara, vichara, achara, vyavahara and adhyatma. Ahara is diet and dietetics, food and drinks. Vihara is our practices and habits. Vichara is our positive thoughts. Vyavahara is our occupation and profession. Our achara from morning to evening, whatever we do, whatever we practice. Again, it has daily regimens and seasonal regimens. And finally, adhyatma. If your thinking is not with adhyatma concept, there won't be a state of health. And yoga is nothing but lifestyle. And yoga is not merely asanas as many people understand. Yoga is a science embedded with spirituality. And earliest art and skill known to the mankind since the time immemorial. It connects between individual consciousness to cosmic consciousness. Most important, it transforms an ordinary person to extraordinary, from extraordinary person to superhuman, and it is the path of liberation. The mainstreams of yoga, one is Gnana Yoga, that is the knowledge based, Bhakti Yoga, that is the devotion, and Karma Yoga, that is the selfless service, and Raja Yoga, that is the scientific path or the royal path. But people do say Kundalini Yoga, Hatha Yoga and other things. But these are the mainstreams. And Ashtanga Yoga, all of you probably know it, which has got 8 components or steps. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So one has to rise from first level to the final level of getting sublimed with the supreme consciousness. And the most important aspect of yoga in healthcare is it is preventive, it is restorative, it is curative, it is rehabilitative. In today's scenario, it is rejuvenative. In many of the degenerative cases. And finally, yoga maintains total harmony and the balance. And the present challenges of the healthcare is non-communicable diseases, which are known as lifestyle-related diseases. All of you know that the modern system has a palliative solution for all of these non-communicable diseases like diabetes, hypertension, migraine, ulcerative colitis, autoimmune diseases, degenerative diseases, sleep disorders, depression, anxiety. Where is the permanent solution? Once he becomes a patient, forever patient. Because they have not understood the concept that these are manifested at the mind level. Unless we calm down the mind, manah prashamana upayaha yogaha, chitta vritti nirodhaha yogaha. Unless you calm down the mind, this cannot be cured. Unless we understand the mind, there is no solution. Modern science is yet to understand the mind, intellect and consciousness. That is the reason why still we are not able to provide any solution. But researchers have shown today that yoga, Ayurveda can do it because yoga and Ayurveda agrees the theory of mind, intellect and consciousness. Now, what is the strength of modern medicine? We cannot ignore it. See, it is capable of managing infectious diseases and manage pandemics very well, surgeries. More than 5,000 types of surgeries are done and medical emergencies are attended very well. Robotics are being used, organ transplantation. All these are the strength of modern medicine. I don't deny that. But limitations are there. It has totally failed in managing the non-communicable diseases, degenerative diseases, autoimmune diseases, stress-related problems, and utterly fail health for all by 2020 Alma Ata Declaration. And because the non-communicable diseases are vertically increasing and knocking the door of every home, but this communicable diseases rate has come down because of hygienic improvement and also very good broad spectrum these antibiotics and other things. And iatrogenic disease is another problem. When we administer a drug, it causes another problem. Give this non-steroidal anti-inflammatory for a few days, it causes kidney damage. Give paracetamol for more than 10 days, it causes liver damage. So this is the problem of modern system of medicine. And affordability has become what is known as the sky limit. So for that, the alternative is we have to accept the best from everything. It is there. Ano bhadraha kritavo yanta vishvataha. Let noble things come to us from every side, and we should make use of the best that are available. Now, for that, integration is the best. You take integration, what is available. Our ultimate objective is to make people happy, make people healthy, make people with harmony. So, for that, the best things. As far as prevention of disease is concerned, yoga plays an important role, naturopathy plays an important role. When it comes to chronic diseases, Ayurveda. When it comes to complicated diseases, when it comes to non-communicable diseases, Ayurveda. When it comes to medical emergencies, modern system of medicine. So one should be very selective. And this strength of Indian system is understanding the life totality, solutions to calm down the mind we have, and personalized medicine to meet individual needs. Every individual are totally different. And bound to the roots of Indian culture. And this is affordable, adaptable, and accessible. And yoga, it has helped during pandemics. It has shown its strength. You know, the quantum of Indian herbs or the Ayurvedic medicines exported to outside country is more than 8 times during this pandemic scenario. Remember, the West do not accept anything if it is not useful, if it is not effective, if it is not scientific. It means it has vertically grown. In fact, pandemic, COVID has provided an opportunity to define the strength of yoga and Ayurveda. And it has become very popular after 2014. Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, when he rather moved a resolution in the United Nations to make June 21st as the International Day of Yoga, some vertical jump has taken place. Similar things should happen for Ayurveda. And one day we have to celebrate International Day of Ayurveda. Then only it becomes popular. But at the same time, the apex bodies, regulatory bodies do not consider Ayurveda as a system of medicine in the West. It has to be made. It is the responsibility of the ambassadors of people like you. And all of you know how this has worked during this COVID scenario. The main objective here was to improve the immunity and improve the stamina, mental strength and stamina. And yoga, not only for disease, researchers have shown that yoga is effective in improving memory. Yoga is effective in making the school children to absorb the science very easily. And today the culture, gun culture, suicidal tendencies have increased now. The researchers have shown that. Many researchers have been done. More than 9,000 research papers have been published in high-end journals. In fact, I am just proud to tell that my university has produced so far more than 900 scientific papers on yoga alone. And for yoga immunity, beyond doubt it is proved. Many papers are available. Just to go to Google and find out, you will get n numbers. It means yoga has become most accepted supplementary, complementary system of healthcare by everyone. There are reservations to accept Ayurveda by modern people, but nobody has reservation to accept yoga, because yoga is a non-pharmacological intervention focusing more on the mind. Then everyone accepts, because mind is not much known to the Westerners or the modern system of medicine. So therefore, it is our responsibility and to see that this yoga therapy and yoga at school level, yoga at society level is popularized. And one of our major studies done during this ocean ring of yoga and yoga from Arctic to Antarctica yoga. Yoga is the only science which can make an individual to adapt to any circumstances for that matter. In fact, we have conducted a study where the people, the trial group people, they became very strong and they resisted the extreme cold in the Antarctic region. So like that, today, the yoga has become to the front for to all the systems of medicine, and 9,723 research paper publications have been there. And these are the few scientific studies done. from our university and different parts of the world. And we have our existence even in Los Angeles in America, Vivekananda Yoga University. And a lot of collaborative researches are going on with many other universities, including Oxford University and Stanford University and other universities. And within the country, we have our existence in almost all India Institute of Medical Sciences and other things. So finally, what I would like to say is, yoga being the Indian knowledge, it is our responsibility for all of us to take it further. And in an increasingly perilous and fragmented world, the advantage of this age-old tradition hold immense value, that we should have complete perception. And yoga provide a sanctuary and tranquility, bridging the gap between the physical and mental realms, as well as fostering unity between humanity and the natural world. So embraced by countless individuals worldwide, it serves as a wellspring of resilience, serenity, and harmony. Therefore, let us take yoga to the whole world in a very bigger mission and vision. With this, I conclude, and I request Dr. Tanuja Nesri to make her presentation on Ayurveda dedicatively. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you very much, sir. We welcome in our midst Shri Kumar Tuhin, DG ICCR, and Professor Dr. Tanuja M. Nesri, who is our key speaker for this session. I request them both to kindly come on the stage. I request the DGICCR to kindly felicitate Professor Tanuja M. Nesri. A few words about Professor Nesri before we invite her to speak. She is the director as well as the head division of Translational Research and Biostatic at All India Institute of Ayurveda, the Government of India, New Delhi. She is also a chair for the Health Sector Subskill Council for Ayush. She has worked as CEO, National Medicinal Plant Board, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. She is a university-approved Ayurveda professor with 29 years of experience at teaching in Dravyaguna and Rasa Shastra and research in quality, safety, and efficacy of medicinal plants. She is recipient of Best Ayurveda Teacher Award for the year 2005. Her main interest areas is Ayurveda, teaching and research on validation of neurocognitive enhancing properties of various plants. Professor Dr. Tanuja M. Nesri.
Namaskar. A very good morning to one and all. Esteemed dignitaries on the dais, Sri Kumar Tuhinji, Abhay Kumarji, Vice Chancellor of S. Vyasa University, Professor Ramkrishnanji, all the esteemed dignitaries in this august auditorium and representative of various countries, my colleague from All India Institute of Ayurveda, which is a tertiary care and an tertiary care hospital postgraduate research and training institution under Ministry of Ayush, which is certified as a NAC A++, that is a quality in the education, postgraduate education, and NABH, that is accredited tertiary care hospital, and advisor from Ministry of Ayush, Dr. Manoj Nesri, who is also there, who is also looking after international cooperation of the Ministry of Ayush, all the various dignitaries and the representative researchers, scientists, academician, Christian Kessler, and I from I see many friends who are this in this August auditorium. At the outset, I deeply express my gratitude and thankful to ICCR for giving us this wonderful opportunity to discuss about the various strength areas in Ayurveda and what is the scope of integration and what is the strength of Ayurveda and what we are doing in India and how we really are ready to support and we ready to join the hands as our very strong and meaningful collaborators which have come from various part of the globe. I was told by Sri Vinay Sahasrabuddheji that this should be the interactive session. I am here to share the information what we are doing at All India Institute of Ayurveda and Ministry of Ayush and what is the strength of Ayurveda. But we would be very happy to know what you are doing and what's the expectation from your side and how collaborative work we are doing with our 64 MOUs what we are doing, where we are also doing double blind control clinical study with London School of Hygiene UK, and also we are doing holistic a standalone study with our some other partners and how we are working with the Western Sydney University, Australia, with European Academy of Ayurveda and all other countries. And maybe from Ministry of Ayush, advisor Manoj Nesri also can say about what ministry, how we can do. So just wanted to have this informal dialogue. And I was told not to have the presentation. And that's why I'm thankful to Ramakrishna ji because giving the entire the 360-degree holistic view of what yoga is. But I'm really happy that he himself is a Ayurveda practitioner. There is an integration of Ayurveda and yoga within itself because Ayurveda, as we know and everyone knows, is a knowledge system of health and happiness. It is not only what is Ayurveda, it is a way of living. Someone says that it is a way of living life. It is a science of life. But as itself, its definition is hita hitam sukham dukkham ayu tasya hita hitam. And as our friends always say that we understand only knowledge system of health and happiness. It is a hitakar and dukkhakar, sukhakar and dukkhakar. What is the ayu is a life. So it tells about what are the ways of hitakar, sukhakar ayu, healthy, beneficial, and healthy way of living, leading the way of the life, and also Sukhakar, that is a knowledge system of health and happiness. But the second line is very, very important. We studied for 32 years, 30 years. We are preaching, studying, trying to live Ayurveda. But the second line, Dr. Krishnanji and all friends, is very important. And Dr. Manoj was also mentioning me too. That is a manam cha tacha yatroktam ayurvedaha sauchata. So the second line is very, very important. Mana. So the standards of healthy life, standards of beneficial life. So what are the man? Man is a standard. Man in Sanskrit is a standard. So which tells about manam cha tacha yutroktam. So it is the knowledge system where the standards of leading the quality, healthy lives are mentioned. The way how we live the life, we lead the happy life is mentioned. That system, the knowledge system is defined as Ayurveda. Ayu is a life and Ved is a knowledge system, which is a Upaveda of Atharva Veda. So it's a knowledge system which is evolved. So if something that man, the outcome measure had to be evolved, even on the research methods, on the evidence has to be created, that holistic, how the knowledge systems have been evolved, like from Sankhya, Darshanas, and from the Aristotle, how the universe has been evolved. So those parameters, those knowledge system, the philosophical, spiritual, social, physical, and mental, all those aspects when combined together, that will tell us about how this knowledge system has been evolved. And at a very simple, gross level, what we are leading now. So how we really live the healthy way, happy way is the Ayurveda. And if what is this? This has the practice base. This is the indigenous system of India, which is practiced for thousands of years in India. So it is experiential. We have the practice based evidence, but now the entire world wants evidence based practice. So everyone wants, what is the evidence? How it live, it's evidence of happy life, evidence of, is there happiness index measured? What is the evidence of healthy? So that's how the big question everyone has, how we really integrate in our existing healthcare delivery. So that is the main how we are here to have the collaboration, and that's the main question everyone has. Maybe you have some system which is already established, and how we identify the gap, how we bridge it, how we complement, and that's how it becomes the complete. So I just in few minutes, what's the time, Tuhinji? Maybe 5 minutes? 5 6 minutes. So I'll explain how this is done, what we are doing, and maybe you can share your story and your expectation, and then we really join together to work for furtherance of the and achieving this holistic health and happiness. And knowledge system is always beyond the science, because science has a limitation. It is not always easy to find out the parameters to assess the spiritual health. When we say that Ayurveda is the harmony between mind, body, and soul, consciousness. So, how the soul and the consciousness integrity can be measured? That is the man. So, science has limitations. So, it is always said that absence of evidence is not an evidence of absence, because we have to understand, we have to develop those parameters. We can assess that holistic, integral part of this integrity and harmony. And that's why we say that the journey, the strength, as Professor Ramakrishna ji mentioned, that the journey starts from illness, as we are here, all healthcare leaders across the globe. So the journey starts from illness. And we start with integration of diet, lifestyle, panchakarma, and many measures, and intervention and non-interventional measure, that illness comes to wellness. But above all, when we understand the knowledge system, the strength of Ayurveda, so journey starts from illness to wellness. And what is the outcome ultimately? It's the happiness. So this strength, why, if someone asks, what is this Ayurveda? It is not only medical system, it is a medical, social, spiritual, and philosophical and psychological. So in many part of the world, only one aspect is highlighted. Maybe someone wants to integrate for spiritual purpose, someone wants for the social purpose, for the psychological, or just value addition for attaining more physical health. So this is how a holistic understanding of this system is very, very important, knowledge system, because it is the integration of integrity within, inside, that is the physical health. That is what is the health is a samadoshaha samagnischa samadhatu malakriya. So all physical dosha dhatu mal, all physical elements within the all energies and the system, there is a integrity, sama, balance. This sama is very important. The doshas are in the balanced state. Dhatu systems are balanced. But prasanna atma indriya manaha. So we have the gracious state of mind, body, indriya. And when they are in line, that is a sattvam, atma, shariram, trayam, etam, tridandavat. So all these three pillars, mind, body, and soul, there is a harmony within ourselves. That is the outcome, is the health. But that is not only the health. When we have the integrity, the harmony with the outside environment, the universe. So the outside integrity with the outside force, that is a harmony within ourselves, and the harmony with the outside environment, the outcome is the health, holistic health. We enjoy the happiness, integrity, and the health when we really have the harmony within ourselves and the outside. And Ayurveda tells us how do we create that harmony, how do we have the integrity within ourselves, and how do we have the integrity of the outside. And that's why the concept of one health. So Ayurveda is, when it is a knowledge system of life, so it has its ramification with entire aspects of the life, for environment, biodiversity, it has everything all together, so all 5 elements, if those are not really pure, healthy, how we can be the pure? Because we are part of the universe as Panchabhaut Siddhanta. So COVID was the outcome of Jal, Vayu, Desh. So that is a Janapadodvamsa. So when outside the forces, when those were really restored, those are restored, then only we can have the health as a whole. So these aspects are very, very important to understand Ayurveda as one health. And this year, as Ramakrishna ji mentioned, that International Yoga Day is being celebrated and in more than 193 countries. But I'm really very, very happy to share that Ayurveda Day is also being celebrated on the Dhanvantari Jayanti, that is the Lord of Medicine, on the first day of Diwali, that is Dhanatrayodashi. And this year, it was celebrated in 100 countries. So it is also Ayurveda Day. It is international. It is being celebrated by Ministry of Ayush to create awareness and understanding, true understanding, what is Ayurveda, what is the strength of Ayurveda, how it can be integrated with the existing healthcare system. And that's why the theme was Har Din Har Ghar Ayurveda. And Ayurveda, it was last year, and this word Ayurveda by everyone, and not by everyone. It is Ayurveda by everyone and everywhere, because the health and integrity cannot be followed only by practicing one day, but as it was said, nityam. So it should be a part of our, it should be the part of our daily routine. The habit, healthy habits is the outcome. What we are leading the way of healthy, that should become the habit. That's why Ayurveda by everyone and Ayurveda everywhere. That was the theme. And I'm really very happy that within India itself, we had 200 million, that is a 20 crore people, they signed and they supported and as a follower. So it's now the awareness is being created, and leading the healthy life is not that prescription as a pill. The health is not to be practiced as a pharmacist's prescription. That the participation is very important. The transformation, your participation, your signature, as I will change, I will adopt the healthy habits, food habits, that is a diet, ahara, nidra, and brahmacharya, diet, lifestyle, and sleep. That is 3 aspects, 3 pillars of the life that needs participation from the person. So it is not patient-centric integration, it is a people-centric integration, because we want to make the healthy society. Then the people's diet, people's lifestyle, people's thought process, every person's thought process and the lifestyle needs to be improved. And my appeal to everyone on this, who have them here and who are not beyond, maybe you can communicate, you can take the initiative just to create the advocacy. We want not the doctors only, we don't want the scientists, but we want the advocates, because the knowledge system, awareness, introduction, and the advocacy, and is very, very important. And it is not only for the people of India, but it is for the people of entire globe, and not only living being. So it is for the plant science, it is for the animal, it is for the environment and everyone. If everyone is in harmony and healthy, then the human being can become healthy. The zoonotic disease, we say that the food is the medicine, we are what we eat, but now we say that we are what our food eats, because the food and the plants, if they are of a good quality, we say organic, but they are good without pesticides, I think then only our health depends. So this is all interlinked, and these 2 aspects needs to be communicated. And even yoga and Ayurveda, that is, yoga is being popularized. Yoga and Ayurveda are the 2 sides of a single coin. I'm really happy and greatly respect, extend, and I express my gratitude, and we welcome Sir Vinay Sahasrabuddhe. I was just discussing, sir, that as per your direction, this is not the presentation trying to create the dialogue and sharing the information what we are doing. As sir had rightly directed, how we have to communicate and get the best from everyone, to know everyone what they are doing. So the yoga and Ayurveda are the two sides of a single coin, and the yoga is the spiritual face of Ayurveda, and Ayurveda is a physical face of yoga. So Ayurveda and yoga has to be followed together. And as yoga is a non-interventional, non-pharmacological measure, Ayurveda has a holistic and integrated view. Because for any patient, starting from common cold to COVID and from cancer to any condition, all 8 specialties what we have, Kaya, Bala, Graha, Dvanga, we have the holistic view as a panchakarma, diet, 5 major procedures of biopurification, detox procedures. So panchakarma, intervention, oral medicines, more than 8,000 we have. So the oral medication, diet, lifestyle, yoga, and all those 5 measures all integrated for mind, body, and soul. Because when we say that I do something for physical, for mind, as a yoga, meditation, and many sattva-vajay chikitsa, and the consciousness also daiva papasya. So we have all diet, lifestyle, panchakarma, yoga. At All India Institute of Ayurveda, we have 42 specialty area for diabetes, for musculoskeletal, for neurological, for degenerative, for mother, for child, ENT, ophthalmology. We have this specialty unit where we have the holistic treatment for each and every condition, and those treatment protocols are standardized treatment protocols and holistic and integrated. So we have the integration with each and every patient is being assessed with the internal Ayurveda measures, but also we have the diagnostic tools and technology. For example, if the diabetes mellitus person has to be holistically treated, we understand its diagnosis as a prameha or anything else as per Ayurveda, but holistically designed protocol as a Ayurveda, panchakarma, diet, lifestyle. But the assessment pre and post is HbA1c, glucose, all the parameters, lipids, all the profile is being done pre and post. Even fasting insulin is also done, and all the parameters which entire world understand, the scientists and the doctors understand. So we have the database of 70,000 patients for diabetes, many patients with, because we have the technology, that is tradition supported with the technology. So we have HMIS, Hospital Information Management System. So each and every patient's record is being stored, and we have the outcome measure pre and post. So likewise, in 42 specialty areas, so far we have the record in various specialties in last 5 years. It is a 70 lakhs patient database in this specialty unit as tertiary care hospital. And as we know that it is a primary from secondary and tertiary care in the healthcare management, but now as it Ministry of Ayush and also as WHO has envisioned, so it is a home care model. So to minimize the per capita expenditure on health and to improve the healthcare status, so self-care model in the home, following the healthy diet, healthy lifestyle, and the good patterns, so that health participation, promotion of the health and the preventive health, so that from health, home care to primary care to secondary and tertiary care. So all those linkage with our public health initiative programs, with outreach program, we have the telemedicine, we have the camps, our doctors go to door, and we have the linkage with primary health care. So from home care to primary care to secondary tertiary care, and from promotive health, preventive health to tertiary care, we have the database, and that's how we are trying to create practice-based evidence to evidence-based practices. And all those outcomes, like in COVID also, we could publish our public health initiatives in the scientific journal, which is Frontiers of Public Health, which has impact factor more than 5. And as we have postgraduate, PhD and doctoral program, so far more than 1,500 publications are published in Index Journal, and 567 research projects have also been conceived. So this is the way But if at all Ayurveda is to be integrated, that needs to be a standard, holistic and integrated way. But as ashwagandha has a strength as an immunomodulator, even as a rejuvenative supplement, we have signed MOU with London School of Hygiene, where double-blind controlled clinical study is being conducted on the long COVID with intervention of ashwagandha. And where we are very happy that we have got the regulation and the clearance from MHRA, and in the NHS setup, National Health System setup in UK, this study is being conducted. So we are open from standalone to holistic, because Ayurveda has a strength as an immunomodulator. Or medicinal plants, rasayanas can be integrated. So there is a scope of integration at every level. Maybe as a value addition, as a complementary, as a standalone, depending on the case to case in every country, what is the status of regulation, what is actually the demand. Because if I say, because in India there is a separate ministry, we have the regulatory framework licensure. There are many manufacturing units which are GMP certified. There are more than 23,000 dispensaries. National NCISM President Vaidya Jain Dev Pujari ji, he is also in this August auditorium. So we have regulatory framework for the education, undergraduate, postgraduate, and all the systems. So education system is in place, regulatory framework is in place, industry, manufacturing units are there, hospitals. So it is a healthcare system. As a Chikitsa Chatushpad, as a doctor, paricharak, nursing, patient and medicine, everything is in place. But I'm sure there are many such countries like China, Japan, Korea, there the healthcare system as a traditional medicine is in place. But as WHO traditional medicine strategy tells us that we should harness the potential of the traditional medicine in the existing healthcare system, finding out the gaps, and we have to breach, and evidence has to be created. And we are really fortunate that GCTM, that is a Global Center of Traditional Medicine, that is a UN outpost from WHO, is being established at Jamnagar in India. And I'm really fortunate to be one of the task members from India on this WHO. And what is highlighted, what is decided in the initial phase, because every country has traditional medicine. 173 countries has their own traditional medicine, and they are trying to harness the potential with the conventional medicine of that country. In some countries, traditional medicine is the conventional medicine in some countries, and the landscape tells us that there is a potential in service, there is a potential in industry, there is some potential as a medical, as a preventive. So first of all, what is the first line decided is a synthesis of evidence. What is the traditional medicine? The evidence already has been created. Let us synthesize, and there can be a networking with using AI model. There we understand the strength of each system, and we can harness that potential. So my appeal to each and every esteemed members from different country, how do we harness potential of Ayurveda with your existing system to achieve the better health? And that health is at the primary level, at the secondary level, tertiary care. So we are ready to complement from the evidence. We have the model, the methodology, and the experience, and we are ready to share our experiences. You are most welcome to visit to All India Institute of Ayurveda, where you will see the Ayurveda which is being established as a science, with the scientific parameters, as a knowledge system, as a education. And there are models. So you are most welcome. And thank you very much for all your patient listening.
I wholeheartedly thank Dr. Tanuja Nesri ji, who has given a very critical scientific insight about the different activities being undertaken in India, particularly in our All India Institute of Ayurveda, and also the scope how the Ayurveda can penetrate and reach the whole world through the ambassadors like you. And in this occasion, I wholeheartedly welcome Honorable President of ICCR, our beloved Sahasrabuddhe Vinay Sahasrabuddhe ji, and he is here to also interact with all of you. Now the session is open for this question and answers.
Hello.
If you have any questions or suggestions, yes.
Hello, good morning. I'm Juan Arnau from University of Madrid. I have a question to Tanuja Neshati.
Yes, please.
So I have a question for Tanuja Neshati.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, please. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, he's listening? Okay. So when you were talking about the mind, you were pointing out the head. So my question is, what's the position of Ayurveda of the relation between mind and brain? So is it the brain that produces mind, or is it the mind inside the brain, or the other way around? Is it the brain inside the mind? I would like you to clarify these questions.
Yeah, it is. It's a very good question. Thank you for raising this. But when we are trying to understand the mind and the brain relation, the first is very important. The approach, understanding is different. We are trying to compare apple with oranges, like trying to understand anatomy, my brain in terms of the anatomy, and the mind, which is the concept from the Ayurveda. In the mind is manas, and its location is Hridaya. And Hridaya is not also the heart. If I say Hridaya is a heart, so it's not. Though these are the lots of, we have to understand physiological and trying to correlate with the anatomical concept. So the mind is the one which is the coordinating linkage between the jnanasya bhava abhavacha. So to understand the it is the coordinating link between the sharira, that is the physical part, and the buddhi, that is the atma. So to understand each and everything, mind is the coordinating link. It is a location is in the hriday. It is not the brain, but to understand each and every sensory and the motor, all the impulses, the coordination with the mind is very, very important. So for brain functions, each and every cortical and all the neurological functions, the existence and the coordination of the mind is very, very important. If I am talking to you and if your mind is somewhere else, you will not able to understand what I am trying to tell you. So the understanding the concept of mind is very, very important. Its location is in the Hriday, but the existence, we is everywhere, from external and internal. And whatever is the external, to become internal, again the coordination of the mind is very important. So understanding mind from Ayurveda is very important as an apple. And understanding brain is from anatomical view is also very important as orange. And have to create the linkage between an apple and orange. I think maybe we have to discuss.
So
Thank you.
you would say that the brain produces mind, or the brain absorbs mind?
Mind is a separate entity, and for
It's an extended mind? It's an extended mind?
external mind is a
Extended?
no, mind is the panchabhautik. Mind is in the hriday. It is not in the brain, it is in the hriday.
The hriday is the heart.
Heart. But again, these concepts, yes, hriday is the heart, yes.
But
When I say, yeah.
but I insist, then the heart produces mind, or the heart is inside the mind?
Heart is inside the mind.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what I want to. Okay, thank you very much.
But this question is very important. Yeah.
Yeah. I am Dr. Manoj Nesri. I am the advisor in the Ministry of Ayush. And in context to this particular question, I would like to give one more explanation, giving the example of a disease. All the various neurological diseases, so they are considered under the umbrella of Vata Vyadhi. There is a chapter called as Vata Vyadhi. All the diseases, they are under the umbrella of Vata Vyadhi. So they are not considered as the diseases of the brain. That is one thing. But at the same time, there are various diseases which are related to the mind, and they are described under the broad category of Unmada. Now, Unmada category is very much different than the Vata Vyadhi, right from how actually it originated and what is the pathogenesis going on and what is the treatment. So it is entirely different. So brain and mind, so they are totally different. The third example is the addiction. So in addiction, again, there is a broad description of why the person gets addicted, what are the various faculties of the mind, they get affected into that, the dhruti, smruti, all these things. So dhruti is the particular aspect which gets affected, and because of that, the person gets into the addiction. And when we say addiction, it is not only the addiction of the drug, but addiction can be of anything. So any object, any subject, if you get involved into any subject excessively, then that is called as the addiction. So it may be money, it may be TV, it may be mobile, it may be alcohol, it may be substance abuse, it may be anything. So there are these three actually, again, from the disease point of view, from how actually the pathogenesis starts, what are the causative factors, and what the treatment. So these are different. So what Madam actually explained regarding that the mind and brain, they are different. So again, these are there, furthermore clarification on that. I think probably it might have been more actually to clarify here. Thank you.
Yes, Dr. Chris.
Next question.
Next question from Eastern University, Sri Lanka. That as Yoga sir said about this mind and body connection, mostly that as he stated that yoga is not merely the seeds of yoga, because that it consists of 8 paths of yoga. In the 8 paths of yoga, if we want to connect the mind, have to be concentrated more on the yama and niyama, because code of ethics and code of moral. It should be then only that can achieve as stated. So what about the scientific modulation occurs in the body due to the yoga? Sir, can you please do it?
Yeah. As I made it amply clear, human system is an integrative manifestation of these 5 dimensions: physical, physiological, psychological, intellectual, and spiritual. The first dimension is physical, what we call it as Annamaya Kosha. And the second one is Pranamaya Kosha, that is the physiological. Third one is Manomaya Kosha, or the mind. Okay. These are all interconnected. All these put together is called this beautiful life module. Whereas the modern concept of life module is physical body, as I said, energy packets, cells, tissues, organs, and everything. But here, the mind placed at the center place. The first is physical body, physiological, then the mind, then in the upper dimension we have intellect and the consciousness. Okay. And this mind is totally regulated, controlled, balanced by prana. Prana is our breath. As long as we are breathing, we are alive. It is said very clearly, if you can slow down your breath, you can calm down the mind. If you want to slow down the mind, slow down your breath, you have to calm down the mind. So these are interconnected. You cannot dissect these dimensions separately. You have to understand the whole system as a single unit. then you will get answer for everything. And no doubt, mind is nothing but a thought processing. It is a thought processing. It has got several amplitudes like imagination, thinking, calculation, aiming, discrimination, description. These are all there. But somewhere we call it as the psychological dimension or manomaya kosha, a signal is produced. That signal, it virtually transfers into our endocrines. From the endocrines, as I've already explained to you, nervous system, from the nervous, the muscular, organs, tissues, cells, up to the genes it penetrates. So therefore, from the perception of yoga and Ayurveda, you cannot understand separately, mind separately, body separately, intellect separately, consciousness separately. It is an integrative manifestation. You have to understand in totality.
Yes, sir. In scientifically, what is happening in our body is the cell potential from minus 90 volt to minus 70 millivolt is the normal, and elderly 50, and cancer cell is minus 15 millivolt. So what is happening in that yoga as well as the scavenging of the body, scavenging with the free radical ion should be the scavenging. Then only we can get the fully health with the all holistic and spiritual approach. What is happening, sir?
See, even the multiplication of cells. Okay, in cancer's growth, what happens? There is faster multiplication, mutation happens. Who is controlling that? Which is regulating that? Again, a thought that is, say for example, we say that what is stress? Stress is nothing but an imposed negativity in the system. And that imbalance, the whole signal processing. Suppose if the signal is damaged, if the signal becomes wrong, we don't find the proper links even for our internet or our mobile also do not work. So at different level, at different rhythm, the signals are produced. Suppose if you are practicing yoga, if you are meditating, if you are keeping your mind calm, definitely at the frequency and the sequency of these waves that are signals produced, it becomes more of physiological. Otherwise, it gets converted into pathological. So that is why we say healthy cell and the cancer is an abnormal cell. But how that happens? It is because just like you understand cooking, when you cook something, all vegetables, rice and all in a cooker, if your fire is not properly applied, it becomes improperly cooked. Similarly, the thought processing becomes negative or harmful, and that thought processing results on the whole system. So whether it is normal or abnormal, it totally depends upon the physiological healthy signals produced at the mind. Always you should use intellect. Don't use your mind. If you use mind, likely to get accidents. If you use intellect, nothing happens. That is why in the order we say, that is Annamaya Kosha, physical, Pranamaya Kosha, then Manomaya Kosha, then Vijnanamaya Kosha, and finally we go to the level of Anandamaya Kosha. Thank you.
Yes, sir. But only thing is that as per the your statement, and it has mentioned about the Western is the material science or the nature science. In accordingly, the Siddha also there's a stanza is there. 30-36 verum seppu maduludai kovilul valvavar seppu maduludai kovil sidandabin.
Sorry, I am not able to understand that.
Yes, in that point of view, that our body is the temple. So in the free radical ions and everything should be scavenging. Then only that with the yoga as well as the.
No. Okay, you can raise your question because others also are waiting for questions.
Yeah, in that point of view, that I agree with that. And okay.
Okay, if you agree, it is well. So opportunity for next person.
Thank you very much for these two wonderful talks. Obviously, the WHO Global Summit on Traditional Medicine was a huge game changer. It took place this summer here in India, and I'm extremely grateful for the outcome, which was facilitated by the Indian hosts and the responsible authorities, where much more awareness was put on the global relevance of traditional medical systems. And my proposition is that not only within those countries of origin for those systems, like India for Ayurveda, but also outside of India, these systems should be promoted as traditional systems of medicine and not merely as systems for well-being. And well-being is obviously a very important and inherent part of Ayurveda, but it is part of a traditional system of medicine. And I think this is very relevant, for example, in Germany, because sometimes because it's easier to get a foot into the door, into the regulatory framework in European countries, for example, we start to talk only about wellness. And in this way, Ayurveda is being perceived by the health authorities as merely a system of wellness, well-being, easygoing, but it is not being perceived as a medical system. And my proposition is that through the Indian missions and also through your partners in countries outside of South Asia, outside of India, we put a focus on the therapeutic value of Ayurveda. And I'm very grateful for your talk because, I mean, you come from a tertiary care center, you're treating very ill people in a huge hospital, and you're conducting indication-based trials, clinical trials. And I think this message needs to be sent more clearly for the benefit of Ayurveda on a global scale.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Christian. And I'm sure you also are the one of the example where you have created that holistic model for the therapeutic values that is in the medical system with osteoarthritis and the Amavata trial as a whole system study. So very importantly, Ayurveda is not only for the wellness and the well-being. That's very important arm. That is a swasthasya swastha rakshanam. That is a people-centric for the well-being. But as you mentioned, it is a aturasya vikara parimoksha. That is for the therapeutic. So Ayurveda, Ashtanga Ayurveda, it's a hetu, linga and aushad. It is for the prescription medicine. It should go into the medical system as a traditional medicine and value addition. And that's how Ministry of Ayush and we are doing. All India Institute, what I was mentioning, it is 1,700,000 patients. It is 100% tertiary care. It is for the treatment. It is for the medical system. And as with the London School of Hygiene, we also have the MOU with University Network, University Network Hospitals with Canada. And we are conceiving many more such clinical studies and how the medical system will understand for as a therapeutic prescription medicine. Only the root is evidence. So creating the clinical studies adds regulatory mechanism, through regulatory mechanism, through embassies, through the medical schools like yours and the universities. So we appeal that the many medical schools and the universities may come forward. And now, as Dr. Rajgopal is also chair in the Western Sydney Hospital University, where the main focus is creating a tertiary care as a medical system. And I think that's the way where we definitely have the complementary and value addition role as a prescription medicine. Ayurveda has a strength as a prescription medicine. Thank you for highlighting.
Okay, because of the timeline, we have to manage the other things. Last question is allowed. Okay.
Namaste. Actually, I was not going to ask this question, but since no one raised the hand, I'm from the field of performing arts. And since we're looking at all the Indian knowledge systems together here, I have a question in regards to the auchitya or the propriety. Once Yoga Day was established, we find that there was this seriousness about what is the right way to do yoga. Recently in California, I read a report that there was some institute that started disco yoga, but received a lot of flack and had to shut it down. Now, in performing arts, we are finding this difficulty of how to maintain what is the right way, what is our correct knowledge system because of many popular interpretations. So would the panel be able to advise us, is there certain things that you have done to ensure that worldwide Ayurveda and yoga, the correctness is also ensured by those who take it up in their own countries in their own way?
Okay. See, yoga or Ayurveda or any Indian knowledge system for that matter is inclusive. Okay. If there are different new additions are there, we welcome it. We always believe that we should move and live in par with what we have. So therefore, when we say inclusive artistic yoga or some other kind of yoga, definitely they are part and parcel of the traditional yoga or scientific yoga. Similarly, when we say Ayurveda, Dr. Tanuja Madam has already made very clear, Ayurveda is what is known as science of life. It is not only for human beings, it is for animals, plants, and even for Paryavaran. So in this concept, I think Dr. Tanuja can tell a little more.
Yeah, just I would like to answer your correct query question that yoga is being promoted in all the countries, but it should not be diluted. It should be promoted in a standardized, certified way. So, is there any mechanism to study and practice in an authentic way? So that's how. So there is a yoga certification board in India, and there we have the skilling program which is certified in a standard module, national occupational standards. So we have the tie-up, and Ministry of Ayush is doing with the chair and the mission. So even for the Gandharva Veda, for the performing arts, if yoga is to be done, then that should be in a standard way. And maybe through ICCR also, we can also promote, sir, in a very standardized, certified way. We can produce that skilling program. That capacity building programs are there. There are skilling councils, but that should be certified. That is the way of correctly promoting it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think if you have further questions, you can easily talk with the experts over a cup of tea, because we're going to have a tea break till 12 o'clock. And at 12, we'll start with our next session. Meanwhile, the Honorable President of ICCR is here, and we believe that a lot of delegates who have their own books would like to present it to him. They can do so now. Thank you very much. We'll see you after the tea break at 12 o'clock for our next session.